speaking of ignorant, stupid, yada yada, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Miss Trunchbull, today dismissed the findings of the government report that warned by 13 scientific agencies required by law to put the report together. This wasn't something that the ignorant fuck President Pig ordered. No, 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 no. But Ms. Trunchbull dismissed that government report that warned of the impending consequences of anthropogenic climate disruption by saying that, quote, it's not based on facts. There's only one person in government that is stupider than Ms. Trunchbull, and that's her boss. But Ms. Trunchbull, you see, is the daughter of, what's his name? Huckabee, former governor and Baptist preacher. What's Huckabee's first name? Michael Huckabee. A religious nutfuck of the worst sort. And of course, he took his little daughter's mind from a young age and just removed her ability to think, throw that away, to use rational thought, get that out of here, to use anything even remotely resembling integrity or honesty or valor, get all that shit out of here, and replaced it with a twisted religious ideological lump of horseshit that she now draws on when she's presented with the evidence that 13 scientific agencies in the U.S. government came to some scientific conclusions about how we are destroying our home. So rather than address the issue, what these fuckers do, they just say, it's not based on facts. It's fake. It's fake. Ms. Trunchbull told reporters today, quote, the president's certainly leading on what matters most in this process, and that's on having clean air, clean water. See, when I see statements like that, I don't know. I either want to smash things to a pulp or open one of my own veins, or it's just insane. Insane. Trump wants clean air, clean water. Trump doesn't give a fuck about clean air or clean water. And in fact, his policies guarantee dirty air and dirty water. And Miss Trunchbull, the good Christian, knows that. Well, maybe she doesn't, because her father, the Baptist preacher, took that shit out of her head at a young age. Get that out of here. And replaced it with Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. She added, she didn't indicate whether or not President Pig would call on world leaders at this week's G20 summit in South America to address the report's findings. He's not going to do that. But Ms. Trunchbull, the good Christian, did say this, quote, we think that this is the most extreme version, and it's not based on facts. It's not data-driven. We'd like to see something that is more data-driven. It's based on modeling, which is extremely hard to do when you're talking about the climate, end quote. No, it's extremely hard to do, you ignorant savage, when you talk about the weather. We're not talking about the weather. We're talking about climate. Look over the past 25 years at the trends, Miss Trunchbull. That's not modeling. Those are trend lines. Those are mathematical models, you ignorant savage, just like your boss and your father. Jesus Christ. The hundreds of government and external scientists involved in the research, it's not based on facts, concluded that climate change is going to be a mind fuck. Now, they talked about the economic, I went over this with you yesterday, they talked about the economic impact. But you ought to talk about, see, if people would stop, if the reports would stay the fuck away from the economic impact, who gives a shit about that? Talk about the health impact. Talk about the extinction impact. Talk about mega death impact. Fuck the economic impact. That doesn't mean anything. What means something is what global warming, climate change, anthropogenic climate disruption, whatever you want to call it, the salient facts are the ones that indicate we are fucking destroying our home. If my house is on fire and my children are trapped in an upstairs bedroom, and am I going to stand there and worry about how much it's going to cost to replace the house? Or am I going to figure out a way to get my kids out of there? Trunchbull and Trump and the rest of these right-wing devils would consider the economic impact of losing their house, to which I say, fuck them. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. You have your choice. You can listen to The Ranting with the audio podcast or listen and watch me lose control with a video podcast subscription. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.